Good morning. I am Jenny.
I am Craig.
Welcome to Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. Hey, Craig, how are you?
I am good. I'm glad that you brought me back because, if there's anything I like more in life is watching someone make a bad decision, it's watching them double down on it. So thank you for putting me once again. I appreciate that.
It literally was one of my favorite shows. I loved having you on the show, and your ability to be so quick, especially with some of the things that we're going to do today. Your ability to be so quick with like the commentary and the witty comments and your commercials. It was hilarious.
It was a good time. I agree. It was a blast.
It was very, very fun. And I think how many emails did you actually get? Like, were people interested in the half box of Cheerios on Kijiji, or?
No, unfortunately, my life is it's not worth anything. So I just got rid of them altogether and I was done with it. It's down here. I left the box open anyway, so they all turned to that mushy kind of non-crisp version. Yeah, they were garbage. We're done. We don't need them. The milk's gone, the cereal's gone, the joy of my childhood's gone, all of it. So
Destroyed in 1 hour, in a 1 hour session with Jenny.
In 1 hour. Thank you for that.
Life ruined.
7 years of therapy gone, just like that. Poof, gone.
How was your weekend?
It's been a busy weekend. It's been pretty good though. It's still status quo with the rain here, but
Still raining.
Still raining every day almost. Even if it's just like it's like a constant drizzle. So it's like always wet. It's like yeah, I'm getting tired of it.
Nasal drip.
But yeah, exactly. A perpetual nasal drip. It's just like, welcome to misery, Canada. This is great.
Oh, misery Canada. Is there even a town named Misery Canada? I bet you there is. I bet you.
You're probably
hard enough. There's some town called Misery.
You know what? I guarantee you there is. But the sad part is, it's we got a picture of hope. It's like it's probably got more things going on than this place does. That's for sure.
Craziness. Anything exciting happening this weekend, or happen on the weekend, or?
Not too much.
Thanksgiving here, so.
Yeah, no, nothing much going on here. It's Thanksgiving for everybody else except for us. So we got our 1 day off, and Monday I'll be enjoying the standard oil-filled supper of a hungry man turkey dinner with all my fellow microwave comrades out there.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Do they give you one of those Toblerone bars too in the
No, but that would be nice. They give you like a brownie thing in it. It's mush. Basically, you can I just take it all and put it all together, spin it up and eat it because it's just food. So that's
like, what do they make in jail? Toilet wine. That's
exactly. It's Thanksgiving's toilet wine. That's what you could describe cranberries as. So that is a bonus in 2 ways, right?
Amazing. I don't know if you hear those sirens that are going outside the window, but rude. Inconvenient time to have a heart attack, sir.
Like, they don't think ahead, right? Like, they could just hold off a little bit.
Exactly. Like, consideration. Hello. Of a show.
Messing things up.
Fucking disgusting, people's manners. What are you drinking?
I am drinking my favorite Mick Cafe this morning.
Yeah, you do love the Mick Cafe. So so that is the old Tim Hortons coffee.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, you remember old McDonald's coffee was toilet water.
McDonald had a farm.
And this is actually pretty good. It's pretty decent, even though they do mess it up every once in a while. It's pretty good. Monopoly is back, which is always Monopoly. So you can play
the Monopoly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's exciting.
You don't collect the free coffee stickers, but you will play the Monopoly. Is this correct, Craig?
Well, I'm not even playing the Monopoly. I just like it's like if you want to sell a product, just have something on it that I could peel off, right? That might win me something. I was like, oh, free fries. I'll never collect the free fries, but I got the free fries, and it's just like, that's awesome. I won something, but I'll never claim it. So
it's the rush of the.
Yeah, right. There's that potential. Unless I'm winning this snowmobile or this motorbike, I don't care. You keep your free, unless it's a free coffee, and then I'd be like, maybe.
That looks like what size is that exactly? That looks like the elephantitis size of coffees.
That is man size.
Man
That's
size.
extra large, and you buy them in packs of 2.
Yeah, it is.
If you're gonna buy coffee, you might as well get half a pot at a time. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. So I think the quantity of that, 2 of those, is probably like a full pot of coffee, right?
It's got to be pretty close.
Yeah.
Got to be pretty close.
And you drink like 6 pots of coffee a day.
Yeah, I'll crush. Well, not 6 pots, but I'll crush. I'll easily drink 6 of these in a day.
Mm.
Are
you serious? 6 of those extra larges?
Yeah, it's all about the taste and how it makes me feel. I'm just kidding. It's a very, very high and very strong, overwhelming caffeine addiction that I'm feeding. It is what it is. I'm not going to deny it, right? Coffee's just my best thing ever. No, it's just a caffeine addiction.
Do you ever drink anything other than coffee, or that's sacrilegious?
Coffee, I will crush water like it's going out of style, and I will drink Coke Zero as my
Zero.
Right, because it's sassy like pop, but it gives me this false sense that it's healthy because it doesn't have any sugar in it. Yeah. I know it's psychosomatic, but I buy it. I believe in my bullshit. I don't care if anybody else does. I believe it.
I'm just concerned about your heart. That's
no, it stops every once in a while, but I've got a defibrillator in my truck, and I know how to use it. I'm good to go. Hit the button. It takes care. It's like autopilot, right?
Okay, well, hear me out on this. Just playing devil's advocate. What if you have a heart attack before you can set up the defib yourself?
That can be a pretty tough situation, but that's a challenge I'm willing to accept. Give it a shot. I mean, why not?
Well, you are an extreme mountain rescuer, are you not?
Well, not mountain rescuer, and I used to be. I'm just old. I'm old and tired with a bad heart and drinks lots of coffee. So I to thinking I'm still in shape in some physical capacity, but I'm not really, not anymore. That's all right.
Oh, the years have passed.
Yeah, they have.
How are we feeling about your brother-in-law's wife these days?
My feelings really haven't changed much.
Right,
Still completely.
Okay. Go like complete full-on despise, or?
Oh yes, yeah. It's there. It's not going anywhere.
No.
No, I don't think there's any saving grace that she could possibly do to change my thoughts on that in any way, shape.
Why switch it up now? I mean.
Well, the only reason to switch it up would be just to confuse her, just to drop her a little bit, just to come back even stronger. So.
Very narcissistic of you.
A little devious, but it's all good because it doesn't hurt me, and I don't give a shit what happens to her. It's a her issue. She can deal with it. She saw the last one. She's like, haha, very funny. And it's fine. It's fine. Stabs, girl. Enjoy your stabs.
Yeah, it's up to her to deal with the pain you inflict on her. It's got nothing to do with you. No.
It's got nothing to do with me.
And why would it? Why would it?
Why exactly? Yep. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that my parents had another child. Like, whatever.
Gross. Right?
Yeah.
Again, inconsiderate.
Exactly. She had her chance. She was born before me. But, whatever.
Yeah, she could have taken a road trip.
Yeah, I wish she would have. I mean, she had the rule of the roost till I was born, and then, well, I guess things changed. So she needs to deal with and work through.
Shit hit the fan. Did you do any fishing? I saw some of your pictures on Instagram. They were lovely. The videos.
I didn't do any fishing, but I went there and I followed through all of the channels and seeing all the salmon jumping around and the trout following shortly behind them. That was pretty cool. It was very cool to see that. It
was really, really beautiful, and the water was so clear.
Yeah, some places were up to like 5 or 6 feet deep, and you could still see right to the bottom and see them all sitting together, waiting to catch their breath to make the next jump up the next dam or over the next log. And it's great.
So the salmon are there because they're going to mate, right? It's like it's a mating.
Yeah, they go up there and they spawn and then they die. It's basically kind of sad.
What does the animal kingdom die when they have sex? Like, what is that, like the worst punishment of all? Like, it's just like
You want to go out on top of your game. That's all I'm saying. You just go on top of your game.
The praying
Why not?
mantis, the salmon.
Yeah. See, that's
I mean, moose only get to have sex once a year.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
horrible, right?
Moose are like married men. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh my god, it's insane. It's like the worst. It's the worst cruel joke of nature.
It is. It is. Like you take a fish that's born in fresh water,
Yeah.
and as soon as it's born, it heads up to salt water. It gets all acclimatized to salt water,
Hmm.
so that when it comes back into the fresh water it was born in, it ends up killing it. And then the cycle's repeated, right? So it's like it makes no sense. But sure, let's go with it.
Insane. And then there's like the killers like the sharks and the crocodiles that go from saltwater to freshwater. They migrate and they're totally fine.
Yeah, no issues. It's all good.
Beasts, beasts.
Nature is a wonderful thing.
A little crazy, a little crazy. I am so excited for this show because we're gonna try a few things that we haven't done yet. And I'm excited to see what you have on board because I spent some time last night rewriting some commercials. We're gonna talk about commercials and we're gonna rewrite them and what we think they should be. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear
Absolutely.
about those. But to start off, let's talk about some of our favorite products or commercials of all time. Infomercials or favorite products of all time that we thought were kind of funny or whatever. Do you want to go first?
Actually, yeah. No problem. One of my favorite commercials of all time wasn't actually to sell a product or anything like that. It was a Discovery Channel commercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts off, it doesn't even feel like a commercial, but they start talking about this seal that they found on the beach that was dehydrated, and the whole town was there. They brought it back to life. It was feeling good. It was, and the news reporters are there, and they're Snuffy was his name. Oh, everybody's here, like, yay, free Snuffy. And they're taking it, this crane sack being held out over the water. And then the next thing you know, this great white shark comes up, snatches it, and disappears back in the water. And everybody's just like horrified. It's like, that's, and the whole premise was, yeah, Shark Week's not a good week to be sent back to the water, right? Absolutely brilliant because it was a twist you never saw coming, right? Oh, that was one of my absolute favorites of all time because it had that gotcha effect. It was like, oh, Snuffy. Build you up with this whole sympathy and this heartwarming thing, and then welcome to Shark Week, right? Shark Week is a staple. I love it.
And Discovery's known for their Shark Week commercials, right? Like, if it isn't it like it seems now that every week is Shark Week. Is that not?
Yeah. They found something that worked, and then they just
Yeah.
pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and yeah, it gets kind of It gets kind of rough when that's all their marketing after a while. It's just like there's no other shows. It's all Shark Week shows. Wow.
Well, John and Kate plus 8 is no longer on, so it's
No. It'd be John. It's just John. Would be,
it's just John.
and then Kate plus I don't even know 8, 9, 10, wherever she's at. She's probably like a Duggar. She's probably hitting the high 20s by now. Who knows?
Oh my gosh.
I have
Did
no
you ever
idea.
watch that show? John
Duggars?
Well, either of
I
them.
watched both. I watched John and Kate, and I'm just like seeing the guy with no life in him. Just
No dignity, will to live.
and she's getting warpath Karen on everybody, and fair enough, you'd be stressed out too. But it's just like, no thanks, no thanks.
Yeah. They butted heads a little bit, and he was so good. He would just sit there and take it. Like he wouldn't ever talk back or voice stick up for himself. I was like, what's happening here?
Like, where was that moment where his soul left his body and he was just a beaten, empty shell of a man that's just like, end this.
I think it's probably around the same time she convinced him to marry her. Probably was that. Yeah.
He spent his whole life just thinking, I wish I'd never done this. I just can't believe this. I can't. He just seems so feed and all that.
Yeah. That's so funny. The first one that I have, and I don't know if you remember this infomercial, but it was for these bumper pads that you put on the sides of your car. like you'd throw it over and there'd be like gray bumper pads on each side of your car. So you put that there when you park your car at like a mall or something. Do you remember those? They're like the worst looking thing. Can you imagine being the child of a parent who had those for their car? Like,
Absolutely. You would know you're that child of that. You would see the kid, you'd know whose car that belonged to because he'd have that little backpack with the coily wire onto it attached to mom's wrist. So
the harness?
Right? Just, get back here, Stefan. Get back here. The car. We got to take the bumpers off. As he sits there in a car seat at the age of 14, right? That's the kid. That's the kid.
The worst thing ever. And they're like, look, no dings, no scratches. They would open the other car door and it would like hit right at the bumper and the bumper would like and of course it was like 1995, like every infomercial is, right? 1995.
You would think they would work, like if you just had a tube full of air, if you squeeze this end, this side gets tight and this side goes flat, right? So you're still going to dent your car regardless, but at least you look cool, because water wings on your car on the street is pretty awesome. What if it rains?
Oh my gosh, that's what it was. Water wings for your car.
Water wings for your inanimate objects. That's amazing. Way to go, Ron Popeil.
I just want to know how many people have actually had them popped. Like, some guy with a bad attitude and on the wrong day just walked by one of those, went like deflated the whole bumper thing.
I guarantee you the lifespan of any of those didn't last more than 2 or 3 times. Just imagine how hot your car gets in the summertime, right? Just the paint itself. The person cruising around with melted plastic, pinstriping all over their car. Yeah, that's pretty stylish. Water wings pop on you there, bud? Yeah.
How embarrassing to have that on your car. Oh my gosh. And the time it would take you to like unfold these, inflate them, throw them over so there's one on each side of your car. Like, how embarrassing. It's like when your parents, I don't know if your parents did this to you, but it certainly happened to me on many occasions. They would make you stand in an empty parking spot.
And then they drove away and you had to wait for someone to come and help you, and then from the cops, and then they'd finally say, yeah, he's ours, and they'd come back and no, that's not what you he's parking spot for them to park. Okay, similar, a little similar.
Kind of the same, different. It was less abandonment, more looking for if there's any other available parking spots, and then coming back to the one that you were standing in so that no one else would take it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's how that was supposed to work. I got you.
They didn't come back, did they?
I read it. I could just see them, mom and dad hopping out of the minivan, and how long it takes just to blow up like a little inflatable for the pool. They just like 30 minutes hyperventilating outside of the van, trying to put these water wings around the caravan, because heaven forbid you scratch the paint on it, right? Oh, God.
Not the caravan.
It's things like this that this makes me lose faith in humanity. It's just, this is a lost cause. I'm sorry, people.
Ridiculous. What else is on your list?
My second favorite commercial of all time was this little kid, and he comes out of nowhere and he goes to this vending machine, and then he stands up, puts $1, and he hits the Coke button, and the Coke comes out. And then he grabs it for another $1, and he puts it in the machine, and he hits the button again, and another Coke comes out. He puts it down again, and then he stands on top of him, puts $1 in, and then he can reach the Pepsi button that he wanted in the first place. He grabs the Pepsi, and he leaves the Coke sitting on the sidewalk, and he walks away. And I'm like, that is brilliant. That's the biggest fuck you from Pepsi I've ever seen in my life. I'm just like, that is absolutely brilliant. I love it. Love it.
I think that might have been the impetus for your style of comedy and your.
It might be. I like that. I just like that. Yeah. Well played, sir. Well played. Absolutely died the first time we saw it.
The competition between Pepsi and Coca-Cola has been long-standing, eh?
It has. It's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as it used to be back in like the 80s and the 90s. They were actually somewhat vicious with each other. Now they're kind of look at each other and look away kind of thing, side-eyeing. But it used to be such a good rivalry.
Who do you think? I feel like Coke won though.
Oh, Coke tastes better. I'm sorry. Coke tastes better. Pepsi was just always too sweet. It's too sweet.
I don't think I've ever had Pepsi.
And my sister likes Pepsi, so the hell with that.
Another strike against her.
Yeah.
My second one is kind of similar in terms of like a kid commercial, but I love that, and I don't know what car commercial it was, but it was a Super Bowl commercial, and the little kid dresses up like Darth Vader, and he tries to like move things with his mind, and he gets disappointed because it never works out, and he's always trying to show his dad these like tricks that he's trying to move stuff with his mind. And then one day he's out in the driveway and he's looking at his dad's car, and he's going like this with his hands, and he's like flashing his hands towards the lights of the car, and then he's getting frustrated because it's not working, and the dad sees him from the window, and then as soon as he flashes his hands, the dad like he uses the car fob to turn on the lights, and the kid's like, did anybody see that? I just did that.
Next thing you know, the kid spends his entire life thinking he has some kind of mental powers, right? And he sees a little old lady pushing this cart across the street. This bus is coming down there, and there he is standing there trying to stop. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremiah didn't make it home for Christmas that year. That was a tragedy. Neither did Grandma. But
it's the cutest commercial ever. Just like the way he turns, he's like.
That's that greatest moment of your life, and nobody.
Yeah. He's like,
Did
is anybody else seeing this?
No. Come out. I'll do it again, as he tries in vain in front of his whole family. He's just tears running out his eyes. It did it. It worked. You've lost it. You've lost it, Thomas. You're grounded.
I love it. Last on your list?
The last one, I don't know why this one appealed to me so much, but Midas Muffler used to have this commercial, and it was the Canadian car chase. And it was, there's a car and a cop right behind it with the lights and everything going, but they're spinning out on the road, so they're not actually going anywhere. And there's a chopper above it taking the shot. The lights are going, the sirens are going, and the one bad guy gets out and he's pushing the car. So the cop on the other side, he gets out and they start pushing their car too, and they're just spinning around. And I was just like, it is so stupid. It's funny. I'm just like mind blown by this. Like, that's brilliant. That is like life in Canada in the wintertime. 100%. You just sit there and spinning nowhere. But it was just like, yeah, I loved it. It was
usually in a Tim Hortons parking lot.
Exactly right. It was so bad. It was good. It was good.
I love that. My final one is, do you remember Ronco? The Ronco stuff? Yeah, the Ronco Peel. Yeah. Okay. So anything that was like Ronco, set it and forget it. It was like, and he had everything. He had dehydrators. He had like a turkey cooker oven thingy. He had this guy invented invent might be a strong word, but he manufactured a lot of his own creatively branded products.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything was set it and forget it, and it was always like at the end of the commercial, it was always like, and if you promise to tell a friend. like people are sitting at home going, oh, yeah, I'll tell a friend. Yeah, I'll tell.
You got to check this guy out. He just combined two things that I never even could see possible. There's this little kid playroom that you have, and then it's also like a jail, and it's got this electric wire, and all you have to do is set it and forget it. And those kids will stay there all day long. You can go do whatever you want. Cheers, Mom. Enjoy your soaps, right? He was something else. And I got sucked into it. I had one of those Pupil pocket fishermen I got at a grad. It was like a fishing rod. It's like this big, and it folds down, and you popped it out, and you could fish with. So it's actually kind of cool.
Does it work? Is it work? Like, is it really?
Yeah, it absolutely works. And it's tiny. It's a fishing rod sits in your pocket. It's like the size of an ice fishing rod, basically. That's all it is. It's an ice fishing rod with a collapsible rod on it. It's just like,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure I have the dehydrator somewhere in a cupboard in the kitchen. Pretty sure I have the dehydrator.
Well, they sell some of the most exciting products you'll use for 2 days after you get it and forget about it, and then put it in a closet or on top of a counter or in a cupboard somewhere and forget about until you give it away to someone. Because
Well,
you
that's why you buy appliances, to store them in the cupboard and
absolutely,
never use
and
them.
you have to get all the special add-ons for it that you can't get at any store, and you don't have any more preserver bags that suck all the air out of it. You're like, now what do I do? Well, we don't sell those anymore. Oh, so what do I do with this thing? Anchor. Oh, okay.
But if you promise to tell a friend about it.
But if you tell a friend about it, what? I'll send you 6 free bags. Yay! Right?
It's like the this will be free, just pay shipping and handling.
Yeah. I think that's where they make all their money, was all shipping and handling.
Yeah, and the shipping and handling is like $60 for like a lure. You're like, oh, I got a free lure. It only cost me $60 in shipping and handling.
Sweet. And if you're not happy with our product, just send it back with paid shipping and handling. It's for this company, and we'll take care of it. Here's your $3 back. Okay, it's a $200 lure. Wow.
It's a hassle-free return policy.
No problem. It's actually Bronco Peel in his cube van that's delivering all this stuff. Actually, just a delivery driver, and he thought, "Hey, this is a good way to make some money."
Was he not odd to look at, or is it just me?
No, he was a little
like a barbecued plastic figure.
Yeah. And he had the aura of like a fucking used car salesman, and he was like, but a really pushy one, like a creepy one that would just like come at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give you some detail, a little bit. This is just the best thing you've ever had. Oh, shit. Okay. Tell a friend. I am telling a friend. I just want them to know that I'm with you in case something happens. It's more of a scare tactic than anything.
I'm just going to turn on the location on my phone here.
You don't mind if I live stream this, do you? Okay.
And I think he legit looks the same. He looks like he has that fake tan too. That was like really. It wasn't even orange. It was like barbecuey. It was like he was akin to Donald Trump. You know. He was
like chocolate leather. Just.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, like a hickory smoke kind of.
Hickory smoked leather. That's exactly what he is. He's hickory smoked leather. Well, our new smokers. Look what it did to me. Amazing. That was delicious. Is that history? Also available in Mesquite, just so you know.
Just set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. Look what I did. I forgot all about it. Now look at me, dried up like beef jerky. Congratulations, bro.
I have a permanent tan that I cannot get rid of.
It would be funny to see, just to go to him to see if his house is full of his products, and if he actually uses them himself, like Ron's
garage. I bet.
Right? He's like, want some jerky from my dehydrator? And he's just opening a pack of Jack Links over here and eating it because he ain't touching that stuff, right? I just wonder, because he had so many patents of so many weird, wonderful things. Does he actually use those?
Yeah, he had a huge assortment of product. Faux show.
He's just going to town crazy with this turkey cooker nonstop. Every day is turkey, right? His house must have just been said, we have 75 of them and we can't sell them, so we're going to use them. Come on, kids, grab a bird.
I wonder what his net worth is. Because aside from the jokes, infomercials bring in the bucks. They really do.
Oh, absolutely, they do, right?
They're one of the most powerful marketing tools out there. If you have something on an infomercial, you are guaranteed minimum $1 million minimum. I'd say.
I could say it, right? Go back to, when you're a teenager and you woke up at 3:00 in the morning and the TV's on, you're listening, to Michael Bolton and Celine Dion playing the greatest love songs of all time. And even though you're like, I should probably fall asleep, right? You watch that. You can't help it. You're just like, I don't like either one of them. Why am I watching this? If you change the channel, you're going to find something else, right? It's just the same thing. Same thing. Sham, wow. Wow. Look at that chamois. Look at him just pouring shit on the ground. Look at it, sucking right up. This is amazing. But you were glued to it. You were just stuck to it. What else can it do? It can wipe. You wipe the counter, wipes the table. Whoa, look at that. Toilet seat is crystal clean. Ew. Oh.
And it would always be the most awkward things that you would never actually, they were unrealistic things. Like they'd stick a chamois in a wine glass and be like, well, look at how much it soaks up. Like, well, I wouldn't soak up the wine in my wine. Like, I would have no need for a chamois, a chamois in my wine glass.
But they had to do that, and the best part of those infomercials is that just that it always showed people as being the most useless, incompetent creatures on the planet. Yeah. It's like, are you trying? Oh, look at me! I'm trying to hold my drink. My popcorn at the same. Oh, I spilled my drink all over myself, and the popcorn's on the. If I only had this large tray that attached to my neck and stood out in front of me, that I could put this on, then I wouldn't have trouble when I put on my backwards house coat, aka a snuggie. Would have been fine, right? It's just like, wow. But all of them were like that. It's like, oh, I'm always fumbling things, or oh, I can't put a can in the counter without it falling. But now look, I've got a conveyor belt that brings it up perfectly. And all I have to do is turn the label. That's exactly.
What about the floors? The floors were the best for any like mop or anything that was on. They'd always show the floor with like the broken egg, the chocolate sauce, the ketchup, the coffee ground. I legit in my life, even in a domestic situation, have never had that much shit on the floor in my life.
Oh, it's one woman named Becky, and she's just like totally surprised every time she goes into the kitchen. Shit's flying everywhere. What's going on here? Oops, I dropped my chocolate cake. What shall I do now? I don't know. Clean it up? No, I need my sham wow to get it all up. Look how clean my floor is. Thanks. You ruined Timmy's fucking birthday. Where are they now? The kids are fucking crying. Nobody gives a shit how clean your floor is at this point, right? But no, that's how it. That's exactly how it was.
Here's the most important question though. Did the cake have sprinkles?
Absolutely, it did. It had to look like it was a special moment. It's just like, happy 12. Oh no, what have I done? And it was always a habitual, endless disaster, right? And they couldn't do anything. They're like making spaghetti, right? If they didn't pull the spaghetti out and dump it all over the floor after they were done boiling it, they try to strain it and they're just pouring it slowly. And all of a sudden, like her start to just lose it, and she's tossing spaghetti all over the place because she can't get it into the strainer. It's just, oh no, supper is ruined.
Oh, if I only had this
bolt-on strainer thing. Look, now I can do it with ease. Well, you could have done it with ease anyways. You just, it's like it's like complete advertising to incompetent people, and it's like, do you want to feel better about yourself that this person? I can do that. But just in case I do screw up, I don't want to look like that, so I'm going to go with this product. Ta-da! It's perfect, right? It works.
If we can't strain spaghetti, I mean,
oh, it's sad. You can just go through all of the infomercials out there and catch those little black and white shots where they're always like, "Has this ever happened to you?" You're like, "No, it hasn't."
Actually, no.
It's never happened.
I don't want to live in a world where I know that there are engineers out there who can't strain their own spaghetti.
Right? or they're products that don't even make sense. It's like, are you tired of slopping your hot and sauce all over yourself when you're trying to eat chicken nuggets while driving down the 401?
Yeah, it's called Don't Be a Pig. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, whatever will I do? And you get a little bib with a cup in it, and you can dip your just like give it pull over and eat your lunch, or just enjoy the sauce on your shirt. One of the two.
Oh, I am very excited for this next segment. We have 3 commercials each, and what we decided to do was to take random commercials that are popular or not and rewrite them from their original slogan or sayings or spiel into how we think they should go. Would you like to start?
I can start. I absolutely can.
Okay. I'm excited to hear
My
this.
favorite products
And
of
I
all
have to
time.
say, I have to preface this by saying, this is a gift of yours.
This is a talent. My talent is ruining products for people. That's
You are very, very good at this. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
We'll start with one of my favorites.
Mhm. Ooh, Monster. Ooh.
Monster Energy. Do you want to perform like an extreme athlete, but you want to do it from the couch? Enjoy this wonderful concoction of caffeine and sugar that tastes basically like sweet tarts and urine. And you too can claim to be an extreme athlete. Monster Energy. Crap in a can. How was that? Was that good? Is that work? Is that really is basically what it is? It's gross. I hate it. I hate it. But it works.
But it works. It gives
It
you
does
energy.
work. And it's not why people think it works. They're like, there's all these things in it that make you feel better and blah, 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 and perform it. No, it's just really high amounts of caffeine and sugar. So you're going to feel rock star for a couple hours. And then you're going to crash so hard that you need another one to pick you up and carry on through the day.
I bet. Oh my gosh, that can't be good. I've never had any of those kinds of drinks before. That can't be good for you. Have you had Red Bull? Have you had Red Bull?
Oh yeah, I made a mistake. I didn't know what Red Bull was when it first came out. I just thought it was a drink and it tasted horrible. Horrible. But I bought a 4-pack and I was driving. I had to do a 10-hour drive and I just kept drinking them and drinking them and drinking them. And by the time I was done the fourth one, I'd finally got home. My heart's racing like this.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Exhausted. Completely. I've been up for about 26 hours at that point.
Oh.
I think my mind could shut off. No.
No.
Worst stuff, yeah.
And did you believe that you could fly? Because apparently
a lot of things. It's almost like a hallucinogenic at that sleep deprived and just like jittery, wide awake phase. It was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah, those things are not good for you. I don't know why people drink them. I don't know why they're made. To be honest, it feels like it's illegal to make those. It feels that way.
It is, and they're highly addictive. Highly addictive, and you can actually get to the point where if you stop drinking them, if you've been enduring them for so long, you'll actually go through withdrawals, and it can be harmful to you to stop doing it. So it's like, enjoy, brace yourself.
That is so unhealthy. And I know I drink a lot of coffee as well. I don't drink near as much amount of coffee as you do, but I have like two cups a day. Yeah, two. Yeah, you're looking at me like small potatoes.
What is life if you don't enjoy it? I mean, 2 cups of coffee. Why? I just view that as self-hurt. Just self-hurt.
It's just damaging. Just stop. Okay, my first commercial is the Slap Chop. Do you remember the Slap Chop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Slap Chop. Do you have unresolved anger issues? Have you been placed in a facility that doesn't allow you to play with knives? Have you always wanted to mince vegetables but had no idea where to start? Slap Chop to the rescue. Throw your vegetables in this incredibly tiny plastic dome that will most likely break after the first use, and slap the shit out of your carrots like a game of whack-a-mole at a country fair. Slap Chop, for all your aggressive chopping needs.
I love that. That is perfect. That is perfect. I'm down for it. I would buy it, right? The only thing that could possibly improve a slap chop is if we had a little slot in the front where you could put somebody's face in, right? Just smack that and let it out.
But here's the thing. Would you tell a friend about it?
Absolutely, I would tell a friend about it. Right. It would be like I would team up with Peloton, and it would be like on their bike and they're slapping at the same time, right? To get this whole body full workout thing. I think there you go. There's a million slap chop on the go. So while your workout, you have a snack ready.
I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at. Yeah.
Somebody would buy that. And that's the saddest thing about humanity.
Oh man.
Would buy
Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm. What is on the list?
This garbage. And it is. It's absolutely. This is Ocean Spray cranberry sauce. Garbage in a can.
Okay.
It is basically, if cranberry sauce is the sparkler in the firework family of berries, right? It's kind of lame, and it only comes out like for 2 occasions in an entire year.
Yes.
The only benefit to this is that it gives some flavor, though it not be a good flavor, but some flavor and some hint of moisture to my brother-in-law's wife's bland ass turkey.
Bland ass turkey.
Cranberry sauce, saving Thanksgiving since 1822.
Mic drop.
What else is it used? Like I guarantee you, if there was a date of packaging stamped on here somewhere where there isn't, I guarantee
No.
every cranberry sauce this are like decades old, right?
So true. So true. They're like those fruitcakes in your grandparents' freezer.
Right?
Those Christmas puddings that were wrapped in the cheesecloth that are like have the date on them that are like
That your great grandparents made for you, right? And they're just like, here, ate it. Oh, okay, I'll eat that. This is delicious. Brutal. It's brutal. But yet it exists, and I don't understand it. Just don't. But that's okay.
Oh gosh, that can't be good for you either. Oh my gosh. What would happen if we mixed the cranberry sauce with the monster?
Well, we can find out.
I'm interested. Interested to know.
I'll have to brave myself up.
Yes, gear up for that and let me know how that goes.
We'll give it a shot.
Second on my list, I don't know if you've ever had this beer, Dos Equis.
Oh yes.
Okay. It's just those commercials are so odd to me. This is how I would write it. Dos Equis. We don't always count ourselves out of the beer game before we hit the shelves, but when we do, we put 2 X's right on the label. Dos Equis. Killing our sales 2 X's at a time.
Oh, I love it. That is perfect. It's like Dos Equis is just waiting for one more strike to be out. I mean, like that's what it is, right? That's like the last chance to be a good beer. Please try this one. Is it any good? Please, maybe. But yeah, it's gotta be tough to be a Mexican beer because you're going up against Corona.
Well, yeah, and there's the wall there now, so it's hard to get the beer and stuff. Was that
Yeah.
a little off?
No, that's sad. Those Mexicans have to drink that instead of. But then again, it's still better than any American beer because that's like basically tap water to everybody else's. It's horrible stuff.
Oh, really? I've never had
American
it.
beer.
I've never.
Oh, I don't even think there's alcohol in it. I think when you drink it, it takes alcohol from you.
Oh, American beer.
Yeah.
Oh, American beer. Oh, well, I don't think. Well, what's American? I don't think I've had an American beer.
They just they're the same names as we have up here, except they have very little alcohol in them. They're just kind of flat. They're just not good. Like they're as good in the States. It's a lot stronger than our stuff, but the beer is garbage. It's just trash. You can drink 24, not even have a buzz, right? It's just brutal.
Oh, interesting.
It's our non-alcoholic beer. That's what it is.
It's our non-alcoholic beer. Yeah.
And beer tastes so bad that
try so the Widowmaker boys have like connections in the beer industry, and they were talking about this peach beer. That sounded kind of nice. I wouldn't mind trying that one.
Why are we gonna do that?
What?
Why add fruit into beer and just no beer, no fruit into beer, no clam juice. Like really, clam juice? We're putting food and tomatoes and beer in a can.
Well, that's kind of gross, yeah. But don't they say that that's the cure for the hangover?
Well, of course it's a cure for the hangover. Quickly, you drink flop like that, it's the only thing you're going to be concerned with. You're like, I can't believe I drank that. It's disgusting. No, thank you. Cure for your hangover is just not to get hungover. It's amazing. Oh, well, that works.
Nice. Continue. What else is on your list?
The last one that I have on my list here Your favorite.
Ooh.
Some people's favorite. Because it's that time of year. Are you tired of drinking your bean juice that tastes like wet cigars or hot asphalt? Don't worry anymore. We're going to add vegetables to it and enjoy your pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. Starbucks. Embrace your basic bitch. Thank you. How's that? Was that Starbucks or is that?
I love it.
It does. It tastes like sweat
sauce. Issue is so overrated.
I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Overrated. Everything is pumpkin spice. Everything.
But the funny thing is, if you talk to some people that are all getting flanneled up and screaming about their pumpkin spice, and you go, okay, do you want pumpkin pie? Oh, I'm not eating that. Keep that away from me. And you're like, what? You want your drink to taste like pumpkin pie, but you won't eat the actual pumpkin pie because it's actually pumpkin.
Are you a fan of the pumpkin pie? It's a mushier.
I will crush a pumpkin pie by myself. No problem.
Really?
No problem.
Wowzers. And do you like the whipped cream on top or just a straight pumpkin pie?
I'll do both, but I eat it straight. I just don't like the crusts. I don't know. It's just like, it's dry. And
you said.
Yeah, exactly. Right? She doesn't. That's her problem. Enjoy the crust. It's there for you.
Lincoln. Lincoln is the last one on my list. And I love this one because the commercials are hilarious. But this is how I would write it. Lincoln. Whenever you come across a bull in the road, you can count on the sleek lines and cool interior of a Lincoln to get you turned around. With extra legroom and the Matthew McConaughey voice-activated response system, getting you to your destination is guaranteed 70% of the time. Every single time. Nobody drives a Lincoln because it's cool. They drive one because, well, we don't know why anyone would drive a Lincoln. Lincoln, don't just drive one, buy one, because a celebrity told you to.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. That's exactly what it is too, right? Celebrity endorsement just gets you sucked in. It's like, yeah, check this out. GPS, where do I turn next? All right. Right? It's totally mad. You'd be just like brutal. He'd be pitching it. It won't be long before they'll have the actual celebrity voices in the GPS and they'll be pitching movies and stuff while you're driving. Yes. I can see you're cruising down the 4. You're just cruising down the 401, and this kind of reminds me of the time I went into space. Never seen that movie of mine, but turn left in the corner. All right. Exactly. 100%.
I love it. I love it. That was fun. I love that. We should do that again. That was hilarious.
It's fun to mock people's products. It is. It's just the best thing ever.
It's fun to bring pretty people down, isn't it?
Yes. Because they can't handle it and they suffer with it. That's the best thing ever. Watching them struggle.
I'm joking. That's another joke, people.
Oh, yes, joking. Sorry.
I'm joking. Nobody come for me. Okay.
That's right.
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that one.
Worst Tinder profile ever. Don't come for me.
Don't at me. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
Don't at me.
Don't at me. Let's get on to our 3-question draw, which I'm always excited about because I don't know questions beforehand. They are random questions. And that look on your face just indicates that you might have changed one of your questions. No, I said that.
Me? Never. Never.
Okay.
Always.
I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Let's just switch it up because that's how we keep the spark alive. If you and your friend were the sole survivor of a plane crash in the mountains, sounds familiar. If it came to it, would you eat your friend to stay alive?
Well, if you told me I had to, I'd probably question what that had to do with survival, but beyond that, no, I don't think I actually would. I don't think I could bring myself to cannibalism. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Can't
I
do it.
yeah, I definitely 100% could not do that.
Right. Would I have to take her out first?
100%.
Because that I might do, right? Because if you're stuck on a mountain, it's the end of the world. You don't want to hear this, right? Just some silence. Be nicer. Use her for bait. Perhaps catch a bear.
Ooh, I could see someone
Yeah.
doing that. I could see someone doing that.
Yeah. I don't think I could eat human flesh, even though they make like some university made like a tofu,
Stop it.
the human flesh,
Stop.
so you can see what it was like, because science is used for evil as well, apparently. Oh, I don't know why I'm
Human,
curious about that.
they made a tofu? Human flesh?
Yeah, it's a tofu that tastes like human.
Oh Christ. The concerning bit is that someone knows what human tastes like. That,
There's always that one person. He's like, can you tell the real one from the fake? I have no idea. Which one of these is actually Jerry? Which one? You're teasing me, right?
oh,
But they always have to have something, right? Like it's
ooh, crazy. Okay, here's my second question. If you had to put up with my bullshit for 1 hour or listen to nails on a chalkboard for 6 hours, which would you choose?
I think I'd still I'd fight my way through it and tolerate it for an hour. Because that nail on the chalkboard, it's still a sound that never goes away, that always just nope. Yeah, I couldn't handle of it. I would be climbing the walls, hands down. But I like that you had to bring that extremeness. It's just like, would you rather spend an hour with me or go for a lovely bike ride? It's like, no. It's like, would you like to be shot at from a firing squad? Well, one option two. Is this how you negotiate all of your things? Hey, do you want to? We can go out for dinner tonight at this restaurant over here, or you can starve while I punch you in the throat. Oh, dinner sounds nice.
I think
Let's do
the
that.
capacity for people to tolerate me is about around the 60-minute mark.
61 minutes. You start looking over at that chalkboard and you're like, well, maybe.
Start inviting me on plane rides to the mountains. Yeah. Question number 3, final question. If you could be any mammal, what would you be?
Any mammal?
Yeah. It's a tough one, huh?
That is a tough one. What would let's go with a killer whale or a bear. Probably a bear.
Yeah.
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 Out there doing I would be a perfect bear. Sleep half the year. And just do whatever I want. Knock it down, eating whatever I want, and everybody's scared of you because you're the alpha predator. And then it seems like
But they eat fish and you don't eat fish.
that's true. I can non-fish eating bear.
you'd be the vegan bear.
I'll be the vegan bear. They eat lots of berries. Like when I first came down here to Hope, all the berries in the mountains around here were all ripe, and it just smelled like your great aunt's bathroom with the potpourri kind of thing going on. So I was like, wow, it's actually kind of nice.
Aren't we so glad that we're over the potpourri era? That was like the latter half of the 90s was all potpourri.
But people didn't even know what to do with it. Like they'd open it up, and then the smell's dead, and all you have there is just like leftover wood bits and dead plant. I mean, it doesn't even smell, and they're like, "Don't just leave it. You can smell it if you stick your head right in it." That's amazing. That's the best air freshener ever. It's incredible. Where did you get this, Ronco? That's great. That's great. Came with the Pocket Fisherman, really, and you made them yourself with the dehydrator. Oh, that's incredible. Great job.
It was super simple. I just told a friend about it.
That's exactly how it went. That's exactly how it went.
It was the potpourri, the old dusty potpourri in that that old grandma crystal bowl sitting on the doily. Fucking doilies. Just rude. Doilies are rude.
They are. And they were everywhere at one point, and now I don't see any anywhere except for grandma's house, right?
I think Trudeau got rid of all the doilies when he came into.
No, Trudeau is a doily, as far as I'm concerned. He's a he is about as useful as a doily is too.
Oh my gosh, I was a fan of his, and I saw a video of him last night of him trying to explain himself out of using plastic bottles. Did you see that video?
When he switched to his paper water bottle plastic. Yeah. I
was like, wow, fuck, that's even bad.
He couldn't read the cue cards, right? Like
well, you know what it was? The cue cards were made of plastic, so he was like trying to avert his
the absolute irony of it too, right? So after he said that back in the day when he actually made that comment, they looked into it, right? Because they can see his expense reports and stuff for his house, and it's like, it's a good thing you've reduced your plastic water bottle consumption, because you said you did this a month ago, and you've spent $300 on plastic bottles this month with your family. So what?
Bananas.
Right? But he's like the hero. He's out there saving the world one plastic straw at a time, which makes absolutely no sense to me.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. We can't have straws because we're trying to save the turtles. But people are dumping their shit in the ocean, killing the turtles.
Yeah. But it's the straws that do it. It's the straws that do it, apparently. And then and the sad part is yeah, fine, you can have paper straws, but there's some people with disabilities that can't have the paper straw because it's going to turn to mush.
That's exactly right.
And you won't be able to use it. I mean, you're making their life difficult for what? Mm-hmm. Like, we grew up in a world where we had paper bags all the time growing up, and then we switched to plastic because we were killing the trees, and now we've switched from the plastic back to paper because, you know, it's more environmentally friendly, and then carbon's going up. And what takes carbon? Well, the trees take the carbon out. So what? The world just doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. And you know, there's going to be some sort of tax rebate for the people who have, you know, the straw disability, right? It's going to be
absolutely. He just needs to be slapped. He needs to be slapped really, really hard.
We really need to bring awareness to the situation, because a lot of people don't know about it, and people are just going into restaurants and accepting these paper straws and not saying anything because they feel judged. Do you know what I mean? They feel judged, and I think we need to raise awareness for people who are not able to use these straws, as you say. It's just maybe a telethon.
But you could do that, but there's so much irony in the whole thing. Like, you can't have a plastic straw, but you can enjoy your plastic cup with your plastic lid. But you can't have the smallest part. We're going to get rid of the smallest part piece of plastic because we're concerned about plastic. The rest of the day. Can I have a paper cup? No, stick with your plastic cup with your plastic lid, but we'll switch it to a paper straw. Okay, absolutely hate paper straws because I'm that guy that drinks slow, right? So by the time I'm done my A&W root beer, it's just a mouthful of water paper, right? Right. Thanks.
It's an extra large spitball. Gross.
Are you ready, my girl?
I am ready, Freddie. Let's get the show started.
What are some things that you've never bought and never will buy?
Genuine ostrich boots. Anything emu.
Anything, yeah. Those kids that they're always cutting themselves and they're listening to that. No, that's emo, right? Yeah, that's a little different. Not really. Don't make emo kid clothing either. That's just kind of mean. Although with the green hair and stuff, it'd be kind of cool.
Well, I have the green tights, so
there you go. Pull it off. Do the whole thing. The red sweater, the green tights, the goth look. You'd be rocking it, girl. With that top notch. What is something that you adamantly dislike, but you don't have a good reason to dislike it?
The wind. The wind. It's a pet peeve. It annoys me. Like, oh. And I don't know. Maybe other women would agree with me. Maybe it's a woman thing. But when you walk out into nature, into the public, and the wind just assaults you in the face, it's like, I am busy. I am trying to get things done. I don't need you in my face.
So like wind is just like this invisible enemy that's holding you back from doing your task. Is that, I don't know.
It's just, I mean, It has its purpose. I realize that. And maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on it. But it annoys me. The wind annoys me. I'm not chartreuse. Chartreuse.
Okay.
It's like being yellow is not good enough for you.
I hear you. So
yeah.
I have to say, if we took you into like a Toys R Us or something like that, you go right to the kite section and just start snapping them because that's just wrong. Get holes in it. Oh, is it not flying? Too bad. Guess that's a waste of a windy day, isn't it? I guess any day with wind is a waste. Just hate sailors and all that stuff. Want to go out in the boat? No. There's wind there.
No. Is that a chartreuse kite?
Is that a chartreuse?
I thought so.
It's not. It's yellow. It's just a special yellow. Whatever, people. I don't like people. Leave me alone. I'm going with some dehydrated food in my... I'm taking my pocket fisherman and I'm leaving this boat forever.
And I'm going to tell a friend about
it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Meat potatoes. Mm-hmm. What's the last thing you remember that made you cringe? Just outright. Ugh.
The last thing I remember that made me cringe... I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast and he was talking about this documentary called Zoophilia.
I don't know what that is exactly, but I'm thinking it's got something to do with animals, and anything with philia generally has a bad connotation to it. By all means, carry on.
Yeah, it sounds gross. Tell me about it. So it's a documentary about people who are, so the more well-known term would be bestiality, I guess.
Oh, that's what I was afraid of.
So it's about this and this one main guy in particular who was quite fascinated with having relations with oh God. Yeah, exactly. With a horse.
Horse is a horse, of course. Unless that horse is, yeah. Mr. Ed's getting a whole different look on his face.
Here's the kicker. He actually died from having relations with this horse. The horse be packing. Mm-hmm. The horse be packing and packed right through his intestines.
Some queen die that way too? Like a Russian queen or something like that? She was...
No, stop.
Yeah. Stop. She was so insatiable that's the extent that she had to go to. Can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, with a horse. I thought you meant like for my husband. I was like, no guy is built like that. Come on.
Well, there's oh, but yeah. What possesses someone just to be like looking over there and going, I want some of that pony. Right? Where does that come from? Little chicken, don't you cry. If an egg can fit in there, why can't I? Oh, my little chicken. That's an Adam Sandler song. Right back. Not my personal preference.
It was quite the detailed podcast. And it's kind of like a bad car wreck. You have a little bit of a rubbernecker syndrome. Like you don't want to listen to it, but you can't turn it off
Yes.
because you're fascinated that people like, and I like I get it. I get why people do the things they do. I get that piece. I really do. I really do. I understand that piece. It's just, oh, good Lord, like to have and to have that in your person. It's extreme. That's extreme. It's extreme for, and I think we've all heard, you know, the myth or probably even the reality of seeing certain pornographic videos of women, with said horse.
Oh, I want to see your browser history at this point.
Guys talk about that a lot. They talk about that video a lot. The woman with the horse.
Everybody loves the Tijuana Donkey Show. What are you going to say, right? It's
okay. See, I'm like,
it has to be there.
But like the idea, and I don't know, like I don't know, just this man was fascinated with having said horse in said spot, and I mean, how do you come back from that? Like nothing else is good. Like it's that or more extreme because you can't downgrade from that, or it's not.
Well, you can't. You know what? In a way, it's almost good that he died because at what point does it go too far, right? Like his living legacy. Like, can you at that funeral, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today because because why? Like, does the horse come tromping in there and make a eulogy? Easier on old Frank, but yeah, things happen. Like, how do you do that? Like, that's the family pet. That's
comes waltzing in. Hey.
Then there's like another sheep in the corner there or whatever. They had a thing at one point. Like you couldn't even go back to that farm and wonder what did he do and what didn't he do out here. It's just like.
Do you think they serve little hay triangle sandwiches at the funeral?
It would be the most awkward funeral ever. Like you wouldn't even want to. You're there because he was family or whatever. Then you're just like, I'm not making eye contact with anybody. I don't want to. Like.
I feel like this is the show that gets me canceled. I feel like
you can't even give condolences. You got to be like, I'm so sorry. He was gone too soon. It's such a horrific way to go. Like, how do you even begin to embrace that? Right? You have to just be silent and go, let's get this over with. I'm going to grab myself some egg salad sandwiches and let's get the fuck out of here because this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. You come back a year later, you see his gravestone. Somebody was a smart ass, put a picture of a horse on it just because you could.
It's so extreme. It's so extreme. And I can't okay, even if you wrap your mind around the act of it, like the finishing moment of that act, I would think would be like, oh my god. It's so
just limp Fred hanging there underneath. Well,
does it just come out his mouth? Like, is it that powerful? It just goes.
He's just dangling underneath as he's trotting around the yard. Oh, look at him. He's trick riding again. No, Martha, he doesn't have his saddle on the horse. Something's wrong with our baby boy. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Okay. Oh,
But it's a thing, and I blame the internet for it because before that, we could be ignorant to that this stuff exists, and now we see it way too often.
Internet and public television. God.
Yeah.
Crazy. Didn't you see a lot of stuff on public television when you were a kid? A lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On that note, rumor has it you have a tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
Tip of the day. Speaking of tips.
Speaking of tips, ew, no. Just like, let's go to the rodeo, which takes on a whole different meaning. It's just like, oh God, you couldn't even trust, like, say it didn't kill him and he just got caught. You'd still be like,
oh, it wasn't about getting caught. They were filming this. This is a show that it wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret. He was like in love with. That's what this thing is. It's this obsession. It's an obsession with. Now I try not to laugh when I say this. It's an obsession with being attracted to animals and forming and building a connection, a loving connection with an animal that people with this form of this.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm at a loss for, even as a professional, I'm at a loss for words right now.
I think like the clinical term is fucking delusional.
Okay.
I mean, it might be in the DSM-V4. I don't know, but I think it should be there because that's just there's something off about that.
It's very similar to the people who have a love for inanimate objects. Like I forget what the term is. It's another philia object.
Antisocial objectophilia.
It might that might be it. But like someone would be in love with a clock radio. Yes. Someone would be in love with a clock radio or have a relationship with an Apple Watch or something like a real imagined relationship. Like
that's just it. It's just imagined. Like it's not. You're not getting anything back from the monster can. I'm sorry, you're not.
Well, it makes me wonder, the people that have an attraction to animals, it makes me wonder where that stemmed from. And I mean, clearly, probably in a lot of the cases, there was an abusive element to it. But I mean, we all, for the majority of us, humans generally have a love for animals, but this is, we love dogs and cats and all this kind of thing. But this is like so extreme that it's
taken it past the normal level of, I love my dog. Not gonna.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, I don't care how cold it gets this winter. I'm not gonna. Now, he might have different feelings, right? Because he'll get up on your leg and do whatever he wants to because he's a pervert.
Yeah.
That's how dogs roll. Sometimes. Most times. Always.
Anyways.
Tip of the day.
Yeah.
Always keep in mind and never forget that the greatest virus of our time is spread through the mind and not the body.
Oh, I think that might be the best tip of the day we've ever had.
It's very true.
Very true.
I hope people get the opportunity to just stop being hyper focused on things, step back and see what that actually means. And it might change your perspective on the world at some point.
I love that. This has been a fun show. I really enjoyed our commercials.
Yes.
yes, back to the comedy. I really enjoyed our commercials. I really enjoyed our chat. I really enjoyed our Ronco. Remember,
I'm looking up Rumble Peel after this. I'm going to see what's going on with him.
I apologize profusely for dragging you into the zoophilia documentary topic.
No, every once in a while, it's good to have nightmares. And that's enough fuel for a few days at least.
Who doesn't need a little push to get back into therapy, right? A little push up?
Absolutely, right? Why stop at being just a furry when you can go all the way and get into a committed relationship with them?
Oh my God. We want to remind everybody to like, comment, share, subscribe. Do you want to shout out anything you got going on? Your handles? whatnot?
Yeah, if you can follow me on TikTok if you want to be bored out of your mind and just see me amuse myself every day when I feel like it.
And your TikTok would be?
CanadianBacon99 on TikTok, or you can follow me on Instagram at Craig Saunders and a bunch of random numbers, whatever. I don't know. It's just right. So it's like, what do you want to name yourself? I don't care. Here's my name. Add some numbers to it. Good enough for me. So
fabulous. Well, we'll link it all on the show. Craig, thank you so much for doing the show again with me. I super appreciate it.
oh, it was absolutely a blast.
Have an awesome week. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.